David Ancelotti, a name barely whispered in the corridors of Ibrox just a week ago. Yet somehow this relatively unknown figure with an unmistakable surname had shot straight to the top of the list to become the next permanent Rangers manager. With his sharp suit's quiet confidence and of course the pedigree that comes from being the son of Carlo Ancelotti, it looked like Rangers were about to make a bold left field appointment that could shape the next era of the club. But in true football fashion, nothing is ever that straightforward. A dramatic twist has emerged, one that could see the Ancelotti dream vanish before it even began. Fresh reports out of Madrid have thrown a spanner in the works. According to trusted sources close to the Brazilian national setup, David Ancelotti will not be coming to Ibrox after all. Instead, he's set to join his father Carlo full-time with the Brazil national team. The pair are expected to extend their commitment well beyond the two already scheduled friendlies against Paraguay and Ecuador. If confirmed, this would mean David is shelving his personal managerial ambitions, at least for now, in favor of standing beside his father on the touchline in the lead-up to the 2026 World Cup, Brazil chasing their first World Cup title. In over 2 decades of banking on the experience and chemistry of the Ancelotti duo to bring football's biggest trophy back to South America. It's a bombshell that's left Rangers fans scratching their heads and the board scrambling for alternatives. The club had quietly earmarked David as a long-term project, someone with a modern footballing brain and an elite footballing background. There was serious interest from the 49ers Enterprises group as well, with Andrew Cavanaugh involved in discussions about the future structure of the club post-takeover. Now that entire plan might be heading back to square one. And let's be honest, in a season already filled with instability, this is the last thing Rangers needed. While all that unfolds in the background, interim boss Barry Ferguson continues to steady the ship on the pitch. The Rangers legend took over the reins in late February after the dismissal of Philippe Clement and has managed to breathe some life back into the squad. Although the win percentage under his command sits just above 40%, there have been some memorable moments. None more so than the dramatic 32 win over Celtic at Parkhead, a match that felt like it could redefine the team's identity heading into a new chapter. Ferguson's most recent outing saw his side come from behind to defeat Dundee United by 3-1 at Ibrox. Cyril Desires was on fire grabbing a brace, while Nicholas Raskin also got on the score sheet. The atmosphere inside the stadium was electric, and there was a sense, just a hint, that maybe, just maybe, Barry could be more than a caretaker. Asked after the match about what he's learned most during this brief stint, Ferguson chuckled and said he's probably gained a few extra gray hairs and wrinkles. But then his tone shifted. Every day I walk into the training center, every day I walk through that front door, it's a privilege, he said. And you could tell he meant it. For him, this isn't just a job, it's home. The reality is that the upcoming weekend fixture against Hibernian at Easter Road could be Ferguson's final match in charge. Hibs have already secured a 3rd place finish after a 22 draw with St. Mirren, while Rangers are simply playing out the final chapter of a season that's been nothing short of chaotic. There's a lot on the line though, even if it's not silverware. For Ferguson, it's a chance to make one last case to the board. For the players, it's a moment to show who should be part of the rebuild. Meanwhile, the David Ancelotti bombshell has forced Rangers to pivot quickly in the managerial search. Kevin Thelwell, recently appointed as director of football, is now under pressure to deliver a compelling alternative. The Ancelottis, both father and son, are set to lead Brazil all the way through the next World Cup cycle, meaning David is officially out of the running. That opens the door for others, and there's no shortage of candidates quietly waiting in the wings. Ferguson himself has not hidden his desire to keep the job. Whether the board sees him as the long-term solution is still unclear, but fans can't deny the passion he brings. In the midst of all this transfer, rumors continue to swirl. Rangers and Celtic are reportedly monitoring the situation of Blackburn Rovers winger Tyrese Dolan. The young wide man is out of contract this summer, and his future at Ewood Park is hanging in the balance. Before Celtic signed Jota in January, Dolan was high on their list of attacking targets, and it looks like the interest hasn't gone away. Now with Jota sidelined due to a serious cruciate ligament injury, both Glasgow Giants are back in the hunt. For Rangers, the uncertainty around the managerial appointment adds a layer of complexity to their summer recruitment strategy. Still, Dolan fits the mold of a smart investment. young, talented, and potentially available for a minimal fee due to FIFA's training compensation rules. A product of the Manchester City and Preston North End academies, the former England under-20. International has made over 40 appearances this season for Blackburn, notching 7 goals and 6 assists. His pace, creativity, and versatility on the wing could be exactly what Rangers need to refresh their attacking options. Blackburn coach Valerian Ismail has been realistic about Dolan's situation. In a recent interview, he acknowledged that, while the club has shown love and support to the player, sometimes offers from elsewhere simply become too tempting. Sometimes the offer dictates your decision, Ismail said. When you put yourself in a strong position in the transfer market and perform, you can get rewarded with better opportunities. That's the game. Back at Ibrox, Wednesday's win over Dundee United wasn't just about 3 points. It was about spirit, about belief, about unity. And perhaps most poignantly, it was about leadership, one of the night's biggest talking. Points came when James Tavernier, usually the man trusted with penalties, handed the ball to Cyril Desires. The Nigerian striker was sitting on 49 goals in a Rangers shirt and was 1 strike away from hitting the big 5-0. With a calmness that reflects his years in blue, Tavernier stepped aside and let his teammate take the shot. Desires made no mistake. Cool as you like, he slotted it home to give Rangers the lead with just under 15 minutes to go. After the match, he spoke with gratitude about the moment. We talked about it briefly, he said. To score the 50th with a penalty would be a great feeling. I've got to thank Tav for letting me take it. Normally, he's the #1 taker, and he's excellent at it. It's moments like these that reveal the character inside the dressing room. Tavernier is not just the captain because he wears the armband. He's the leader because he understands when to step up and when to step aside. For Desire, the gesture meant the world. And for the fans, it was another sign that despite all the uncertainty around the managerial situation, there's still a strong core within the squad. A spine of players who care deeply about the badge. Ferguson himself later said that a few tactical tweaks and an honest halftime conversation helped turn the game around. We knew Dundee United would come and sit deep, he explained. It's something Rangers have struggled with in the past. But we made some adjustments at the break and the boys responded. As the second half wore on, Rangers took full control. After Desire's penalty, Raskin sealed the win just moments later with a composed finish. The energy in the stadium shifted. There was a buzz again. A sense that the fight wasn't over, not just for the season, but for the future of the club. With all eyes now turning toward the summer, Rangers are entering a pivotal moment. The club's ownership situation, the managerial decision, the transfer window, it's all converging into what could become one of the most transformative off-seasons in recent memory. And yet, through all the boardroom speculation and tactical analysis, there's still a game to be played this weekend. The trip to Easter Road won't decide a title or a trophy, but for Barry Ferguson, it might decide his future. He's made it. No secret, he wants the job on a permanent basis. He's spoken with heart, coached with passion, and brought back a sense of fight that had been missing. But in football, especially at a club like Rangers, sentiment isn't always enough. Results talk, structure matters, and with names already floating in the rumor mill from seasoned veterans to progressive upstarts, the competition is fierce. Whether Ferguson is given the reins or asked to step aside, his contribution in this short period will be remembered, not just for the wins, but for the spirit he's reignited. Beyond the dugout, the focus also shifts to who will wear the shirt next season. With the possible arrival of players like Tyrese Dolan and other emerging talents, the message is clear. Rangers are looking to build not just a team, but a new identity. One that blends experience with youth grit, with flair history, with ambition. Kevin Thelwell, now tasked with overseeing this rebuild, knows the pressure. He also knows the opportunity. Getting these next few decisions right, the manager, the key signings, the philosophy, could define the club's trajectory for the next 5 years. Meanwhile, inside the squad, unity remains. Players like Tavernier continue to lead not just with skill, but with selflessness. Desires, after reaching his milestone, now stands as a forward with momentum, confidence, and belief. Things Rangers will need in abundance moving forward. And Ferguson, he remains a symbol of what it means to care deeply about the badge, about the people in the stands, about the legacy being written with every match. It's been a turbulent ride, no doubt, but through the uncertainty, there's a sense of something building, something just under the surface. Whether it's Ferguson, a new face in the dugout, or a reshaped squad under fresh leadership, one thing is certain: the next chapter for Rangers is about to begin. And if these past few weeks have taught us anything, it's that nothing is ever predictable in football. Not even when the name on the short list is Ancelotti. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. Rangers manager Barry Ferguson has sparked controversy this week after publicly stating that 2 players within his squad are currently harming the team's progress. Speaking candidly in a post-match press conference, Ferguson expressed deep frustration, hinting that internal issues may be at the root of the club's recent underwhelming performances. While he refrained from naming the individuals involved, the coach's remarks have already fueled widespread speculation among fans and pundits alike. It's clear to everyone that something's not right, Ferguson said. There are 2 players whose attitude and commitment are simply not at the level expected at this club. It's affecting the dressing room, and it's affecting what we see on the pitch. The former Rangers captain, known for his no-nonsense leadership style, added that changes could be imminent if attitudes do not improve quickly. Sources close to the club suggest that tensions have been brewing behind the scenes for several weeks, with disagreements in training sessions and noticeable friction between certain squad members. Ferguson, who returned to the club with high hopes of restoring Rangers' former glory, now faces a critical test of his authority and management skills. Fans, already concerned with the team's inconsistency in recent fixtures, have taken to social media to voice both support and criticism of Ferguson's approach. Some praise his honesty and assertiveness, viewing it as a necessary wake-up call, while others worry that such public criticism could further destabilize the squad already lacking cohesion. With crucial matches looming, Ferguson's next moves will be under intense scrutiny. Whether he opts to bench the unnamed players, seek transfers, or attempt to mend relationships internally, the coming weeks could define both his tenure and Rangers' season. One thing is certain: the manager has drawn a clear line in the sand, and the message is unmistakable. The team must come before any individual, or consequences will follow. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.